What is the first step you need to take in Build Your Wolfpack when creating a product? B. Choose the type of product. Why is marketing important in Build Your Wolfpack? C. It lets other players know why your product is great. Are you ready to build the coolest business in the game, Build Your Wolfpack? Starting your own virtual business is exciting, but do you know how to make your first product a hit? You'll need to pick what to make, create it, and then sell it to other players. But there's a lot more to it than that. Want to find out how to turn your idea into something amazing that everyone in the game will want? Keep watching to learn each step and see how your Wolfpack can become the talk of the game world. Choose your product type. In the game, Build Your Wolfpack. The first thing you need to do is decide what kind of product your Wolfpack will make. Think about what you enjoy, or what might be popular in the game. It could be anything like a cool new video game, trendy clothes, or even delicious snacks. This is important because the product you choose will help you earn points and grow your Wolfpack. You should also think about what other players in the game might need or want to buy. If you make something that a lot of players like, more people will want to buy it from your Wolfpack. It's like being the only store in town that sells the hottest toys. Everyone will come to you. Another important thing is to make sure your product is different from what others are selling. If you sell something unique, players will notice your Wolfpack more. It's like wearing a bright, cool hat on a day when everyone else is wearing plain hats. Everyone will see you and think you have something special. Once you decide on the type of product, you are ready to move on to the next steps in the game, like making and selling your product. But choosing the right product is the first big step to becoming successful in Build Your Wolfpack. It sets the path for everything that comes next. Research and development. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, after you've picked the type of product your Wolfpack will create, the next step is to research and develop it. This means you learn more about your product to make sure it's the best it can be. Think of it as doing homework to get good grades on a project. Researching is like being a detective. You look around in the game to see what other players like and don't like about similar products. This helps you understand how to make your product better and more exciting. You might also find out what makes your product different from others, making it special. Developing your product is like practicing a skill. The more you work on it, the better it gets. In the game, you might need to solve puzzles or complete challenges to improve your product. This could mean making a snack tastier or a toy more fun to play with. By researching and developing, you make sure that your product is ready and as good as it can be before you start making and selling it in the game. This step is really important because it helps you avoid problems later on. It's all about preparing well so your Wolfpack can succeed and grow by having a great product to sell. Allocate resources. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, after you've done your research and made your product the best it can be, the next step is to allocate resources. This means you decide how to use what you have wisely to make and sell your product. Think about a pie. If you have one pie, you need to decide how much each person at the table gets. In the game, your resources are like the pie, and you need to decide how much time, energy, and materials each part of making your product gets. First, you look at your team, your Wolfpack. Each member has different skills. Some might be really good at making things, while others are great at talking to customers. You have to choose the right jobs for each team member so they can use their skills best. This is like putting the right player in the right spot in a soccer game so your team can win. Next, you need to think about materials. If your product is a toy, you need things like plastic and paint. You must make sure you have enough materials to make all the toys you want to sell, but not so much that you waste any. By allocating resources smartly, you help your Wolfpack use everything it has without running out or wasting. This helps your team work together smoothly and makes your business in the game grow stronger. Production. In the game, Build Your Wolfpack. Once you have everything planned out and everyone knows their job, it's time for step 4, production. This is when your Wolfpack starts making the product you chose. Production is like the part of cooking where you mix all your ingredients together and put them in the oven. For your game, this means taking all your plans, materials, and the efforts of your team, and starting to create the actual product you want to sell. If your product is a video game, production involves coding the game, designing the graphics, and testing it to make sure it works well. If you're making something like cookies, it means mixing the dough, shaping it, and baking it. During production, you need to keep an eye on how things are going. This is important because sometimes things don't go as planned. Maybe a machine breaks down, or there's a mistake in the design that needs fixing. You need to solve these problems quickly so you can keep making your product without wasting time or materials. When production is done right, you end up with a bunch of products ready to be sold to other players in the game. It's a busy and exciting part of building your business, because you get to see all your hard work turn into something real that others can enjoy. Marketing and sales. In the game, Build Your Wolfpack. After your product is made, Step 5 is about marketing and selling it. Marketing means letting everyone know about your product and why it's great. Selling is when players buy your product and you get game points or currency. Think of marketing like telling a story about your product. You want to make sure other players in the game know what your product does and why they should be excited about it. You might use signs, ads in the game, or messages to tell everyone what makes your product special. This helps more players notice your product. Selling starts once players are interested. You need to decide how much your product will cost. This is important because if it's too expensive, fewer players will buy it. But if it's too cheap, you might not get enough game points to help your Wolfpack grow. Also, pay attention to how many players are buying your product. This will tell you if they like it, or if you need to change something, like the price or how you're talking about it. Always listen to what players are saying because their opinions can help you make your product even better. Marketing and selling are key to making your business in the game successful. They help you turn your hard work into rewards that can make your Wolfpack stronger and more famous in the game. Launch. In the game, Build Your Wolfpack. Step 6 is all about launching your product. Launching means you start selling your product to all the other players in the game. It's like the grand opening of a store where everything is ready, and you open your doors for everyone to come and see what you have made. Before you launch, make sure everything is perfect. Check that your product looks good and works right. Also, make sure your team is ready to handle questions from players and solve any problems that might come up. You want everything to go smoothly on the big day. On the day of the launch, you might have special events or offers to attract more players to buy your product. This could be things like a discount for the first few buyers, or a special demonstration of how your product works. This makes more players interested and excited about trying out what you have made. After the launch, watch how players react to your product. Do they like it? Are they buying it? This information is very important because it tells you if your product is a hit or if you need to make some changes to make it better. Launching is a big and exciting step in the game. It's when all your hard work finally gets shown off to everyone, and you start seeing the results of your efforts. It's a chance to celebrate with your Wolfpack and get ready for the next big adventure. Iterate and improve. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, Step 7 is about iterating and improving your product. This means you take a close look at how your product is doing and find ways to make it even better. It's like when you get feedback on a school project and use that to make your work better before turning it in again. After you launch your product and it's out in the game world, watch what happens. How many players are buying it? What are they saying about it? This information is like clues that tell you what's great about your product and what could be better. If players are not buying as much as you hoped, or if they are saying things that show they are not completely happy, it's time to think about what changes you can make. Maybe you need to fix something that's not working right, or maybe you can add something new that players would like. Once you know what needs to be improved, go back to your team and start working on those changes. This might mean going back to earlier steps like doing more research, redesigning parts of the product, or changing how you talk about it to players. Iterating and improving are important because they help your product stay interesting and valuable to players. It keeps your Wolfpack's business growing and makes sure players keep coming back for more. So this was all about today's video. Do let us know your thoughts in comments. Thank you for watching.